Welcome back to Indian Stock Market Guy YouTube channel. In my previous video, I talked about basics of stock market, how to do fundamental analysis before investing in any stock. In this video, I will talk about types of stocks in the stock market and how to identify good stock under each category. This video is only for educational purposes. It's not financial advice or a stock recommendation. Now, there are three types of stocks in the stock market. One is large cap stocks, another one is mid cap stocks, and the last one is small cap stocks. Large cap stocks or large cap companies. So these large cap companies usually have good track records. The market value or the market capitalization of these companies is significantly high. These are called blue chip companies. The market capitalization for these companies is around 20,000 crores and more, and they have a strong market presence. So large cap companies are low volatile. Coming to mid cap companies. Mid cap companies also have a good track record, but the difference is noticeable compared to large cap companies. Mid cap companies are involved with more risk than the large cap companies. The market cap for these companies will be around 5,000 to 20,000 crores. And mid cap companies are moderately volatile. And the last one is small cap companies. Small cap companies don't have a long track record. For example, a startup company or a company that is under development can fall under the small cap sector. So the market capitalization for these companies is below 5,000 crores. And the small cap companies are very volatile. Now, let's deep dive into screener to identify the best sectors or the best companies for large cap, small cap, and mid cap. So the better tool to identify these companies is screener. So go to screener, log into your screener, and here you have an option called screens. So here you can create a new screen. So here you just first we'll talk about the mid cap companies. So mostly if you want any multi-bagger returns or if you want any good returns, mostly you invest in mid cap and small cap. So large cap don't give much returns, but they are very stable. You can't lose much and you can't win much. So if you want to get good decent amount of returns in the stock market, so invest in mid cap and small cap. So before investing, do your own analysis. So now we'll start mid cap companies. So as I said earlier, so the market capitalization of the mid cap companies will be greater than 5,000 crores and less than 20,000 crores. Now, if I run this query, if I run this query, you will get 445 companies. So these all companies comes under mid cap. Now, out of these 445 companies, you need to look for the best company that will give better results, better quarter results or better returns. So whether the company will give better returns or not, that is not guaranteed. But the thing is, you need to identify the good companies. So in order to do that, go back to your screener, add the conditions or add the query. Like I told you, right? So the promoter holding should be greater than 45%. And let me run this query. So previously I have 445 companies. Now I have 320 companies. Now I want to filter more. I want to filter more better companies. So for that, so sales growth should be greater than 15%. So before entering any query, you have to add end, right? So sales growth of the company is greater than 15%. Now let me run this query. See, previously I have 334 results. Now it's come down to 123. So let's filter more. So now we have two more important parameters called, as I explained in previous video, return on capital employed. And this will be greater than 15. And return on equity should be greater than 50. Let me run this query. Now previously it's 150, now it come down to 28. So I will iterate once again what is return on capital employed and what is return on equity, right? So the return on capital employed tells you how efficiently the company is generating profit from all the money that was invested in the business. For example, if the company has 100 crores invested in the business and it earns 20 crores as a profit in this year, that means the return on capital employed will be 20%, 20 divided by 100. Now, return on equity. So this will tell you how much profit the company generates using only shareholders' money. So previously, return on capital employed is all the money, not only shareholders, the company money. Now, whereas return on equity means, so the company generates using only shareholders' money. For example, if the company invested 50 crores of shareholders' money and it generated 10 crore profit, then return on equity will be 10 divided by 50, which is 20%. So now let's run this query. So we have 58 best stocks, best mid cap stocks. Let's filter again. It's up to you until you get satisfied, right? You can add best filters, whatever you want. And here also you can add whatever the value you want. Sales growth. Right now, I set a median as 15% for sales growth and ROCE and ROE. Now let's add more queries. So another thing I will look into any company is operating profit margin. So this also should be greater than 15%. Let's see how many companies we have. So from 55 to we have it come down to 37. Let's filter, let's drill down more. Now net profit. Current net profit should be greater than previous year net profit. That means last year profit, company generated more profit than last year, which is a good sign. I forgot to add an end here. So don't do the mistakes I am doing. See, previously we have 33, now it drilled down to 26. So you can stop here, you can start analyzing the companies, or you can drill down to more. We have very great parameters. So next thing is, so I want to look at EPS. So EPS should be, current EPS should be greater than last year's EPS. Let's run the query. We have 26. I can stop here. Now I got the best 26 stocks according to me. So according to someone else, there will be a different query they can run. But according to me, according to the parameters and formula I created, so these are my best 26 mid-cap stocks, which have potential. Now I will filter, sort with the market capitalization, right? And I have an option to sort with the industry. So out of 26, five companies belongs to electrical equipment, four are industrial products, two are chemical and petrochemicals, two from healthcare and two from pharma and one IT, right? So it's up to you which industry you want to invest in. So What I will do is, first I will target an industry, right? For example, I feel like the renewable energy will have great potential in future because of the government incentives, government initiative, right? So in that case, out of these 26, I will look into the companies which are invested more on the renewable energy sector. So here I can see a company called Vare Renewables. So if I open this, let me validate with my query with this sector, with this company, right? So I gave market capitalization should be greater, greater than 5,000 and less than 20,000. Let's check. See, market capitalization is 11,324 crores, which is correct. Then I say promoter holding should be greater than 45%. Let's check. So if I go to shareholding pattern yearly, see promoter holding is greater than 45%. Here it is 74. So which is good. And sales growth is greater than 15%. So sales growth. If I go to profit and loss statement, sales, today's year growth is 1598 and previous year's sales growth is 876, which is great. So whatever the query I added in this screen, so exact results I got. Now, if I was very much interested in invest in this stock market, invest in this stock, right? So in my previous video, I told about some parameters you should look in. One is market capitalization. Second one is PE. PE determines whether the stock is overvalued or undervalued, right? And ROCE, ROE, which is good, more than 30%. And debt to equity ratio is 0.12, below 1. That means company is handling the debt very carefully and very wisely. And I want to tell one more factor here. So here in this chart, if you go to PE ratio, so how do you identify whether the company is uh, sorry, whether the company is cheap or overvalued, undervalued, right? So we have a parameter called stock PE, which is here it says 32.1. Now in the chart, click on this max and click on this PE ratio. So we have a parameter called median PE. So here the median PE of this stock is 73.2, but the current PE of this stock is 32.1. So in this case, this stock is undervalued. So if the stock PE is greater than the median PE, then the stock is overvalued. If the stock is overvalued, that is where you sell a stock. If the stock is undervalued, that is where you buy a stock, right? Now let's start analyzing this company, right? So Warren Renewables. So you can look into quarter results, but I mostly look at the profit and loss statement because here you will get results on the year on year basis. So if I look at the sales, I got 2, 7, 6, 13, and there is a jump after COVID because after COVID there is a demand on the renewable energy sector. So 162, 351, 876, 1598, and till today it's 2215. So there is a steady increase in growth of sales year on year basis. So same way, operating profit as well, 724, 84, 207, 311, 474. Same, operating profit margin also increases, and EPS, it's also increasing year on year. And if you look at the balance sheet, the equity capital is the same, 21 crores. And the reserves is from after COVID, you can see the company is performing really well because of the government push, Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, right? So you can see the reserves 964, 226, 437, 435, and 634. So total assets of the company is also increasing year on year. And shareholding pattern, obviously, promoter holds 74%, foreign investors holds 1.38%, DIS holds 0.12, and the public holds 24%. So according to me, this is a good mid cap company. Again, before investing in any company, do your own analysis. So this is a query I used to get best mid cap stocks. Now if I look into the small cap stocks, so simply I will just change the query. So here, so as I said earlier, market capitalization should be less than 5,000 crores. Then that company comes under small cap. And promoter holding is 45, which is okay. And sales growth, I think I will change it to 10, because we can't expect the same sales growth that mid cap is giving, right? So the small cap obviously will have less sales growth. And return on capital employed is also, I will decrease it to 10. If you want, you can keep it as 15 as well. But to get better stocks, more stocks, I'm just decreasing because of the market capitalization. Operating profit margin also 10, and I will keep as it is. Net profit should be greater than net profit last year, and EPS should be greater than last year EPS. Let's run the query. This is for small cap. Yeah. So now we have 346 good companies come under small cap. So if I filter with the market capitalization, so here also you can filter with the industry, right? Aerospace, defense, and all. Now if I want to drill down more out of this 346, so small cap, right? So I can add more filters. Let me add like the foreign institute investors. If they invest in any small cap stock, that means that the stock is having a potential, because there is investment from the foreign fund managers. They have done their due diligence. That's why they have invested. So if the foreign investor holdings is greater than 2%, and let's add DIS as well, domestic institute investors, which are Indian mutual funds, they have also invested more than 2%. Then obviously the companies are really great. They are doing really well. That's why the institute investors are buying. Let's run this query. Now see, from 335 to we got 28 best small cap companies. So again, you can filter out by industry, whatever industry you are very bullish on, right? So if I look at Rosary Biotech, so this is a chemical industry, chemical manufacture. So first thing you do is when you open any company, read this section about what this company will do, what are the segments this company is into, right? In which geographical area this company is located in, and the networks, manufacturing facilities, capacity expansion. These are very good data you will be getting from this screener. So first read about the company. Then if you really like about the company's business, then only start looking into the metrics. Now Rosary Biotech, it's a chemical manufacturing company. So I feel chemical sector will do well in the future, long run. So here you can see the market cap is below 5,000, which comes under small cap, and the stock P is 224. And let's see whether the stock is overvalued or undervalued. Click give max and P ratio. You see the median P is 39. So stock P is less than 39, which means this stock is undervalued stock. And if I go to profit and loss statement, you can see the sales year on year: 516, 600, 709, 1483, 1656, 183128. There is a steady increase in sales year on year basis. Same with the operating profit as well: 124, 184, 223, 250, 265, 274. And operating profit margin obviously will be increased. Then the net profit after tax. So 80, 98, 107, 131, 136, 137. So which is great for a small cap company. And you can see the equity capital, which is steady, and the reserves has been increasing year on year, which is good sign. And the borrowings also increasing, but it's not harm in increasing borrowings. It's how the company handles their loans or borrowings, whether they are doing any capex with the loans right? These are the things you should consider. And the assets, total assets, also increasing year on year basis, which is good. Then the shareholder pattern, yearly basis, you can see promoter holds 68%, which is good. And foreign investors, so you can see in March 2021 during COVID 7%. Now 2022 9%. Then it's drastically decreasing, the foreign institute investors. And the domestic investors from 12% to 15%, 17%, 17%, 18%. So it's not like, even though FIIs are selling, the DIS are buying the stock. So which is a good sign. If both FIIs and DIS and promoters, all three are selling, then public is buying, then there is something wrong going on with the company. This is a key indicator for you. So you can see public 7, 10, 9, 9, 10, 10. So nothing wrong with here. So this is how you will check the fundamental analysis of a small cap. So I hope this video helps you. So I will paste this query on the video description as well. Video description, both large cap, mid cap, and small cap queries. You can log into screener.in and you can add your queries, and you can add your values based on your requirement. Then you can do your own analysis before investing into any stock. So that's it from my end. So we'll meet you another day. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.